Want to hear something amazing? Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year, automatically, dollar for dollar, with no limit on how much you can earn. Extra cash? Come on, how amazing is that? In fact, it's even more amazing when you realize all the places where Discover is accepted. 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. So when it comes to Discover, get used to hearing yes more often. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2020 Nielsen Report. Limitations apply.
Let CareerBuilder help you rehire fast. Post your next job with CareerBuilder and get an application rate that's nearly 7 times higher than our competitors. CareerBuilder, we're building for you. Visit hiring.careerbuilder.com/recruit.
What's going on? What's going on? You are tuning into the Cigars with Mac podcast. Today we have a very great topic. Name of our topic tonight is, what is a black conservative? I have on here two illustrious guests, two men that I had the pleasure of serving with overseas at war, and it is an honor to have these gentlemen here. And we want to talk about tonight, what is a black conservative? Very, very hot topic. Many people that know me personally know that I was at one time pretty heavy in the conservative aspect of politics. But as I grow older, I learn everything. I learned that life is about fluidity, because there are issues in the Republican Party, which is why you have the terminology called rhinos. And nothing's ever stayed the same, people. You know that. And on the Cigars and Mac podcast, we talk about a little bit of everything. And one thing about y'all know I'm big on finances, and one thing about politics, they kind of go hand in hand. There's no such thing as finance without politics, nor is no such thing as politics without finance. But anyway, I have my two good buddies here, Big Al and D, and so we're gonna just dig in it, man. And I'm gonna let these brothers and myself, you know how I do, man. I'm not really one that over talk my guests. I kind of like to let people hear how other people think, their perspective, and we just go from there. And I want to first and foremost thank everybody that has been downloading. I can see when y'all download it, and I'm so happy that people are supporting. And of course, this is a gradual come up, but it's a come up nonetheless. And with no further ado, we finna get into it, guys. So, gentlemen, let's get into it, man. What is a black conservative, man? Let's talk about it.
Well, to me, man, a black conservative is someone that believes in America, believes in the country, man. Mm-hmm. Supports the government and supports our leaders that's in office, man. Mm-hmm. Most black conservatives ain't out for like giving handouts, man. Like, most of us have worked hard for our, where we at in life and what we accomplished in life. And there's a lot of ways people could word it or define it, but that's my definition of it. Mm-hmm. I don't know how Rob feel about a black conservative. How you feel about black conservatives, Rob?
Well, technically, I don't see myself aligned with no particular party.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that you don't want the government to give handouts. When in fact the government gives handouts to other groups of people at an alarming rate. What do you think a bailout is? They do it all the time. They're not just Democratic leaders. Now, I do believe there's a difference between a hand out and a hand up. But when we ask for a hand up, it's taken as a hand out. Like we want somebody to give us something. No, we're just saying, you know what you've done over all this time, and you mean to tell me that you can't help me get to the next level? Why does it continue to have to be so hard for a certain group of people to get to the next level?
I understand what you're saying, Rod. I had asked you a question earlier, man. You never answered it. Say everything goes even. Everybody's playing on the same baseball field. All right? Everything is fair for everybody. What happens next for black people, man, after we've given an even playing field? What happens?
Well, maybe you'll get more qualified people in higher positions.
You think every black gonna do that? You think the drug dealers they're gonna stop? Most of these young kids that's out there doing that type of stuff in the streets, think that's gonna stop? All the shootings and all the killings, you think that's gonna stop? All that stuff that's what's going on in Chicago, you think that's gonna stop?
Well, here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up about drugs. For the simple fact that we know the government targeted our neighborhood when it came to drugs. But anybody who's been around other races, know they do just as much drugs as black people do. And they also sell drugs. Now, a lot of times it's mad because those people have business. And they don't have the police in their neighborhood looking for them. So when you're saying drug dealers don't go away, not really. Not really. It's still going to be there. You still going to have those factors of life. But there's a lot of people who legitimately want to make it. And the problem is that the system makes it 3-4 times harder for them to obtain the same things that another group of people can just walk in and get.
Right, you know, there always going to be. Back in the day, it was 3 classes of people, but nowadays it's 2 classes of people. All right,
right.
It's rich people, and it's people that's surviving.
Okay.
You know, you can say kind of poor if you want to word it that way, but I mean, most people, you know, are living. You know, I ain't gonna say check to check, but they ain't rich. It's 2 classes of people. It has to be that. Everybody can't be rich, man.
Let me
It's
jump.
going to be employees, and it has to be employers.
Let me say a little something.
Everybody can't own a business. Everybody can't be rich, right? Somebody got to do the work.
Yeah. Let me say something, gents. My take on the black conservative of what we traditionally, think it is. What my view has always been was a American black person, male or female, man or woman, and about family values, hard work. I'm not gonna necessarily say no government interference because you have to have some type of government involved. But like I said before, people that know me actually know that at one time I was very active in the Republican Party. I was a card-carrying Republican. But now, as a black man in America, I'm pretty much like whoever values align with mine, that's who I'm going with. It's like just recently, you know, I've been having a Ford truck for the longest time, and you know, my son's coach is a Ford salesman, and he was messing with me, but he was like, "Hey, why you didn't come holler at me? I could have got you a new truck." And you know what I told him?
What?
I said, GMC gave me the best deal, coach. So
Yeah.
that's the approach I take now when it comes to politics. Is who's gonna support what I align with, you know. So that's my take. But what you know, y'all can jump in whenever, but that's my take on politics, you know, because it can get a little murky, man, because a lot of times we can align ourselves with these parties, man, and a lot of times we don't always necessarily agree with everything, you know, and that's why I say life as the older I get, I am more fluid, you know, because at the end of the day, nothing is going to remain static, you know. I mean, right now, you know, Al, one of the biggest problems in the Republican Party is rhinos, man. That's just what it is. And
yeah, I'm not too familiar with that rhino thing. This is the second time I heard you say it. I'm gonna have to look that up when I get some more searching on that.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, man, I was Democrat. I grew up Democrat, man. Grew up in Baptist church, man. Surrounded by Democrats my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, me personally, man, a lot of people say, okay, a lot of black people say, okay, they want a chance. You have the chance.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing stopping nobody from doing and being whatever they want to be, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no white man stopping nobody from going do and be whatever they want to be, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to do it, put your mind to it, go do it.
Yeah.
You know, but don't sit there and say, you know, play the race card and think, okay, somebody holding you back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of young brothers have made it far to the top. Mm-hmm. And another factor fact that I checked is 11 million black Americans living in America. Where else, any other country, where you're going to find 11 million black Americans living in America?
Mm.
The best place for a black man is in America, man. Nowhere else. You can make it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my views and opinions on that. You know, and I just keep pushing, man. I don't let nothing stop me. Any little obstacle get in my way, I do my best and I jump over it and I keep pushing, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just been my motto, how I carry myself, to get where I want to get at in life, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I ain't let nothing stopping me from getting where I want to get at.
That's
you know, and that's just how I feel, man. You know, I don't play the race card. You know, I've been in Colorado. I've been living in Colorado since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And not one time have I experienced any racism out here, man.
Mm-hmm.
0 times. I told Rob before, the last 2-3 years I've been working in the oil fields in North Dakota, right?
Mm-hmm.
Went out to a bar one night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seen 3 black dudes and 1 black chick sitting at a table, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to sit at the table. I'm like, let's have some drinks, you know, shoot the shit, talk, whatever. You know, we ended up having a good time until I asked these cats for a ride home, man. And cats, as soon as I got in the vehicle, cats said, we about to rob this fool, man. And I'm like, wow, this how my own people act and try and do me.
Oh, man, so they tried to...
never got robbed. Never even, no white boy never even tried anything like that on me before, man.
So did they rob you?
And I've worked and I've traveled all over this country, man. You know, and sometimes it upsets you, man, when you see things like that. And you experience things like that, Rob.
Did they rob you?
Know? I'm back.
I still got the echo.
Well, on my end, it's I don't know why, brother. It's clear on my end. That's what I'm saying. It sounds crisp and clear. Do you have a Bluetooth on?
I did the Bluetooth off and it still did it.
Oh man, I don't know why, dog. I really don't.
It's only when air talk.
It's only when what?
Hold on. Let me try something else.
Okay. So did they rob you, Alvin, or what? Or they tried to?
They tried to. I jumped out the truck, man, and I was kind of pissed off, you know. And I thought they was gonna shoot me when I jumped out the truck, man. But I ended up making it home that night, man.
Ooh.
You know, like I say, man, I've worked with a lot of people, man, in my life, man. White people, black people, a lot of Mexican people, you know, all types of races out in the oil field, man. Everybody go out there. It's like the oil field's kind of like the military, man.
Mm-hmm.
You get a little bit of every race out there. Everybody trying to work and feed their families, man. And you work and talk to a lot of people. You get a lot of people's stories of their life, man. You
That's
know,
real talk.
And sometimes, man, you get out there and you working, bro. It be out there negative 20, negative 30 sometimes, man. You still got to get your work done, man. You know, you out there working right on side. A white guy, man, a Spanish guy, black guy, you know what I'm saying? And y'all working. Ain't nobody even think about no race out there when you're in the oil field like that, man. You know, I haven't experienced anything like that, man. And I've had all kind of jobs, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm just saying, man, like, you know, a lot of people saying, okay, play on the even field. Yes, the legal system is messed up. I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree with Rob when he said, American citizens, it don't matter if you're black or white, everybody needs to be playing on the same ball field.
Yeah.
I don't understand how the legal system has failed and is different how it is, man. I'm sure you probably know someone that did something small and got, many years for something that was petty.
Yeah.
It wasn't even, like, wow, I'm getting all these years for something that, the same white guy did, and he got, like, probation, but I got to go do some years. Yes, the legal system is messed up, man. I ain't going to lie to you. And I understand why Kaepernick took a knee, man. You know what I'm saying? It brought awareness to everything. Everybody, get to see, okay, what is going on, how is black people and American citizens are being actually treated, man.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that thing, but it's more like job-wise and all these other things that a lot of people say not equal. I beg to differ that, man. Because I don't walk in corporate people guys' office, man, and came out with jobs, and I know damn well that I didn't have the education that some of these other guys had. You know what I'm saying? And I was, I'm a dark-skinned brother, and that's the first thing they see. But when they hear me and they see me that, okay, I'm a hard worker, I'm gonna do my job, I'm gonna complete my job and make sure my job is done. A lot of these guys want to hear that, man. These guys that come from that's hiring or that own companies and stuff like that, man. You know damn well in the military, man, you got to do everything right the first time. You ain't no second or third time chance to doing a job or a mission or whatever. And when we was in the military, man, you know that, man.
That's true. That's true.
You don't got no time messing up. Messing up could get somebody killed, man. Get somebody, not coming home to their kids, man.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
And I mean, like I said, man, the things about Trump, man, that I could name a few things about Trump why I support. Right? For one, back in the day, I got an uncle, my mom's brother, man. He did about 20, 25 years in Angola, man, right? And a lot of times when people come out of prison like that, man, you know, you don't get no chance after you got a felony or got a 3 strikes against you, which Bill Clinton started.
That's true.
I don't know if you're aware of that. He the one started that 3-strike rule when you're out and stuff. You go to prison and stuff like that. He the one started that, right? That broke up a lot of black families. That broke up a lot of homes, man, when he started that. You know, and still to this day, man, we're still trying to recover back from that, because a lot of young black men that have families, that have kids, are gonna have to grow up and watch their kids grow up from the other side of the wall, man. You know, but sometimes, man, you can't blame the next man for the bad decision that you have made in life.
True.
You know, everybody got their own path, their own path to follow in life. Sometimes people go right, sometimes people go left. You know, some guys even stay straight.
That's right.
You know, make it to be successful early. You know, some people take a little bit longer to open their eyes and get the experience and get the knowledge and to become successful. You know, what I'm saying is, man, that just because you're black, man, that shouldn't stop you from, you know, being successful. You're in America, the land of the free, home opportunity. You go in any state and work in this country, man, and get a job. You go anywhere. You know, same thing like I was telling Rob, one of these bills that Trump done signed was that prison reform bill. You know, where fellas come out of prison, they get a second chance, and they not look down on so much.
Yeah.
To this day, Trump has pardoned more black incarcerated African Americans in penitentiary than any other president that this country ever had. You tell me that's not something good?
You right.
That's what we want, man.
I can't argue with that.
You know?
Man. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. The dialogue we having right now is what the country needs, because that's one of the reasons I have respect for Trump, because he does not bite his tongue, and for the most part, the man does what he say he's gonna do, I can't deny. Like I said before, and one of the problems, I'm gonna tell you, back in the day, man, one of the big issues I had with black conservatism was, it was always like some of the black conservatives, they didn't want to address the black issues, if that makes sense to you. And what do I mean when I say that? Even though I'm not talking about you personally, I mean in general. One of the drawbacks, like for instance, I was telling D about a particular politician. I spoke to 2 politicians. One politician my mother introduced me to. He was a Republican out here in Dallas. And the young lady was in Tennessee, and I'll never forget. And I asked her, I said, "Ma'am, what is your black agenda?" And she said, "I don't have one. I have an American agenda." And then I asked the brother who was a Republican. Mind you, I'm a fellow conservative. So I wasn't, you know, and this brother out here, I asked him the same question. He gave me the same answer. And that was one of the draws that I had, the drawbacks. That was one of my gripes. Because believe it or not, all black Republicans are not created equal. Because you have some that were like me that wasn't really, I'm not really, when it comes to things in life, I'm never just, how should I put it? I always been a kind of person where I was never just die hard anything. I was always like balance. I believe balance, everything needs balance, you know, and that was one of the things that I expressed to a lot of black Republicans was that, man, you know, a lot of y'all don't say nothing about black issues, you know, and it shouldn't take a non-black person to vocalize that, you know. And I think that's...
Well, Matt, I don't mean to cut you off, Matt, but Hey, give me a black issue besides the legal system that's unfair and the police brutality that's unfair. That's kind of go to hand in hand. But give me another issue, that black issue that besides those two.
One issue was black employment, and this was during the Obama. Okay. This was during the Obama presidency, and disparingly, blacks were not. And for instance, with Barack Obama, George Bush had more blacks in high positions than Barack Obama. And when I would express that to blacks who were not conservative, it was problematic. That was one of the issues that I had a problem with. Another issue I had a problem with was the not acknowledging, because I'm a corporate guy. You know, I'm a corporate cat, believe it or not. I'm a salary guy at a Fortune 500 company, but prior to that, I was a union guy for 6 years, and I noticed the racial inequality, you know, and my whole thing was kind of like Rod was like, hey, I fought for this country like, you know, this guy fought for the country. And I'm not asking, and I'm going to tell you one of my lines, one of my selling points for jobs, especially when they would constantly highlight, I see you in the military, I see you in the military, I see you in logistics in the military. One of the things I will always say is, I'm not asking for a handout. I'm asking for a hand up. Because at the end of the day, someone gave you a chance. And if you say you honor the military, the best way you can honor the military is giving me opportunity. Because once you give me an opportunity, I'm going to show you what I can do. And, you know, that was one of the disparities that I noticed, man, and that a lot of black conservatives, they would not acknowledge the racial inequality. What's your thoughts about that?
Racial inequalities?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why we only have one month for Black History Month?
Well,
Black History Month is American history, right?
That I agree. You know, I agree with that.
Yeah. So, why the whites don't have European month, or the Jewish don't have Jewish month, or the Mexicans have Mexican month, or you know, and so on. Why they don't do that?
You know why? Because it's White History Year.
That's American history, man. All that is American history.
Oh, okay. Well, go back to when you was in school, when they taught you about American history, and it came up the portion about us getting here. What they did?
Yeah. See, that's the thing where I said, okay, I said this earlier, man, that history needs to be told the truth about everything that been happened, that went along.
Mm-hmm.
The history that the books that we studied in school, that was bits and pieces of everything, man. That wasn't the whole history. That wasn't the whole truth of everything.
Who controls that, and why did they do that?
Mm-hmm.
Caucasians do, white people, yes. And I understand that. They shouldn't have said that. Back in the day, man, you know, probably we wasn't considered really human beings at one point in time. You know, but as time evolved, segregation didn't happen, and everybody start learning to deal with people and talk to people. Some mistakes was made back in the day, right? But we can't hold that against people, man. Because slavery happened and stuff like that. We can't hold that against nobody, man. We could recognize it, but most white people that's living today that you and I that came across, that the served with, that we done, set out and had child next to, or we done, ran information together with. Most of them guys ain't had nothing to do with no slavery, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Them guys, most white guys, man, right? Most of them white guys we serve with, they'll break their back for you just like you break their back for them. Now, sometimes things wasn't like that. Everything's not perfect, man.
Well, there's a reason for that too. There's a reason for it.
What?
That didn't just happen. That didn't happen by happenstance, right? So when you look at the whole process of things, one, the military understands that we can't have division amongst the troops to move as a unit and be effective.
True.
They understand that. So we need to put difference aside. We understand we got people coming from different social, economic backgrounds, different races, and different ethnicities. We understand it. So we need to try to make them work as one, though, to see themselves as one. When I came over the first time, one of the biggest mottos in basic training was, there is no color here. The only color here is green. So,
exactly.
Okay, now when you look at the army, it's totally, how many soldiers are in the army? So you're talking about maybe like 100 and some thousand troops out of 300 million people in the world. That's a small group.
Yeah.
But as a whole, it doesn't work that way. These people have their own indoctrination, man, and they look at you a certain way. So until the actual the system start using those same tactics, as far as when I say the even playing field, meaning that you're not going to use your white privilege to do the same crime I do and get less time. You understand what I'm saying? You're not going to have less credentials than I have and get the job that I feel like I deserve. Those type of things that need to take place, man, to even the playing.
Yeah, I understand you on that, man.
And one of the ways the way the Army makes it work is because the Army has no problem issuing out punishment.
That's right.
Because everyone has to abide by the regulations.
So
that's the problem with this country.
What's the problem in the civilian world? Why we having this problems in the civilian world with black and white and all this stuff like this?
Well, because okay, when I first went to basic training, yeah, of course I had went to school with white, but I had went to all black school before also. So I wasn't really on this race thing, but I had served with a guy who had never seen a black person in person before. A guy from Montana or Wyoming or somewhere. He said the only time he's ever seen a black person was on TV. So of course the only thing that he sees on TV is when you click on the news and you see all the negative stuff about black people. So he has a certain perception of black. But it wasn't until he said he came into the Army that it changed. So the problem is society, man. Okay, prime example, when they killed the guy in Georgia, right? Certain policemen want to prosecute those men, but the lady, the DA, said no. How can you not prosecute that once you see that tape?
Yeah.
Never went to jail for it. It wasn't until someone the guy released the video and it went viral that put the pressure on them. And that's the only thing that's happening now in the world, man. People, not just in America, man, in London and a lot of other countries around the globe are protesting too. And they're taking down those slave statues of those people who had slaves. Everyone is getting tired of it.
I understand that, what you're saying, Rob, but you don't think sometimes we bring some of this on ourselves? on ourselves?
How?
As a race?
How? Because I get pulled up for a traffic stop, and all of a sudden you pull me out my car. You stick the dogs on me. You want to search my car. You don't have probable cause. How did I do it on plan myself?
Right. Out of 1,000 people, man, you maybe have 1,000 police officers. You maybe have 10% of that may be bad cops, man. Not all them cops gonna be bad, man.
So Botham John, what happened to Botham? Botham John didn't call the police. The lady came to his apartment and killed him. The girl who was at home with her nephew playing video games, the neighbor called the police for some kind of wellness check or whatever. The guy walks inside of the house, sees her in the house, and automatically kills her. So do you think if those people were white that those cops came in contact with, that they would have been so quick to pull that trigger?
Yeah,
No.
that's an injustice there. That's an injustice situation, you know.
In Minneapolis right now, the black guy who's actually Somalian who killed the white lady, he's on 15 years.
Yeah, there's injustices in the legal system. You know,
We just brushed over like it's nothing.
If they want this thing to change, man, they need to look at that legal system, man. That's where it's gonna help black people out and minorities out. All right, the legal system. All right, the legal system, and you know, but we need to work on ourselves too a little bit, Rod. Everything ain't perfect in the black community, man. In the black race, man. I don't know if you ever had a chance to work with somebody black before, man. You know, but I have.
Hey,
Me too.
You get a black supervisor, man, he gonna work the shit out you like a dog, man.
hey, y'all, hold on real fast. For some reason, my thing is saying, let me, y'all, hold on real quick. I'm gonna cue us right back in. I need to see something real fast. Hold on.
Skiing, riding, sledding, winter biking, winter hiking.
No matter how you Vermont, please Vermont safely.
Cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, snowman building.
This year, that means a 7-day home quarantine with a negative COVID-19 test or a 14-day home quarantine with no symptoms to visit.
Snowball fighting, ice skating, ice climbing, ice fishing, ice cream eating.
So we can all Vermont safely this year.
Dining, craft beering.
Talk to your favorite inn or resort about smart travel suggestions, reservation policies, and the best way to Vermont this winter.
Hot cocoaing, antiquing, shopping, fireside napping.
For full COVID-19 travel guidance, visit VermontVacation.com.
1, 2, 3, 4.
For everyone's safety, Vermont requires a 7-day home quarantine with a negative COVID-19 test or 14 days with no test to visit this winter.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
We're also recommending you take the time to do some extra squats, lunges, wall sits, or high knees.
24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
With reduced lift and lodge capacity, you're going to have a lot more time to spend on the slopes. So take the time to get your legs ready.
38, 39, 40.
Vermont in winter. It's worth the wait.
1, 2, 3.
This winter, plan your trip. Don't trip up your plans. Talk to your favorite inn or resort about smart travel suggestions and reservation policies. For full COVID-19 travel guidance, visit VermontVacation.com.
16, 17.